8 men deported from the United States have just landed in South Sudan, and the government isn't wasting time. What did they do, and why are they now in custody? Buckle up, because this story is more than just international paperwork. So, who are these 8 men? According to officials, the 8 were deported for a range of offenses in the US, from immigration violations to serious criminal charges. They were handed over to South Sudanese authorities upon arrival. The South Sudanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed it. The men are now in government custody, and their cases are under investigation. In a press briefing, a government spokesperson emphasized that these men are not simply free citizens returning home. Quote, "We have an obligation to ensure national security and rule of law. These cases will be reviewed thoroughly." Translation? They could face further charges in South Sudan depending on what they did abroad and what they may have done back home before fleeing. Let's zoom out. The US has ramped up deportations to Africa, with South Sudan among the countries receiving returning nationals. But deportation doesn't always mean freedom once they land. Experts say such deportees often arrive with no resources, legal clarity, or safety net, especially in nations with ongoing conflict or instability. Here's the human side. Several of the men had spent over a decade in the US. Some left South Sudan during its civil war as children. Now they're back in a country they barely know and facing legal uncertainty. He grew up in the States, he doesn't know anyone here. What's going to happen to him now? South Sudanese officials say investigations are underway and will determine if further charges are warranted. Human rights groups are already keeping a close watch on the situation. Will the men be released, prosecuted, or quietly forgotten behind bars? As international scrutiny grows, South Sudan finds itself in a delicate balancing act. This case is far from over. It raises tough questions about justice, identity, and what happens when deportation is just the beginning of the story. If you found this story eye-opening, smash that like button, subscribe for more global updates, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Should countries hold deportees accountable after they return? See you next time for another deep dive into stories the world can't ignore.